Welcome to a new IDMapper tutorial. The September 2017 version of IDMapper has a new feature. It can now work with color lists. To this end, it has a new panel here in the toolbar that is called ID Color List. What is it for? If you have several meshes and you want to assign the same color ID to parts of meshes that represent the same material, then you have a challenge. Because IDMapper will assign random colors initially to different areas, and you can tweak it of course by hand, but maybe you have in your organization a central list of material names with corresponding colors that can be used in IDMask. Maybe you use smart materials to this end. If you have such a list as a comma-separated value file, a CSV file, you can use it now in IDMapper. Let's show how that is done. First, we will load a CSV file. Let's use this color list. As you will see, after loading it, you will get a list. You can scroll through this list. It has several items, and these items all have a name that is descriptive for the material and a color. If you select such an item, you will see that here the brush of the vertex paint mode will change the color accordingly. This is of course no different than a palette, but this list has a descriptive name. And as we will see later, you can manage this list as well. Let's use this list. We switch to face paint mode with the P key. And then our assignment is to change these colors to correspond to colors in this list. Let's say we want to change this dark purple color to the color for wood panels. The way we do this is by selecting this first item by using Ctrl 1 to make it active and select it. Then you have here the corresponding color. So what we can do now with this color in the brush is use Alt K to assign this to all purple regions. Likewise, if we want to change this green color to the color for wood details, we can use Ctrl 2 to select the second item and then use Alt K to change all light green regions to this salmon color. Now, if a color is not visible, we can switch out of face paint mode, make sure it is visible and then select it. But what we can also do in face paint mode is to use the Ctrl 0 key press to scroll through the list until we have the corresponding color selected. And then again we can apply it with Alt K. Another small new feature is the option to sample outside of the mesh. We already had the option to sample the color under the cursor by pressing the S key, and then everywhere we went the color was selected that was under the cursor. It was however not possible to select a color outside of the mesh, and now it is. If we now move outside the mesh anywhere inside a Blender window, the color under the cursor is selected. So that's now possible as well. Let's leave face paint mode and see how we can use this same panel to manage a list of colors. Say for instance we want to add a color to this list. We just press the plus button, give the material a new name, select a proper color. The default is the one in the brush, but we can change it by clicking on it and then selecting a color. If the position in the list is not what we want, we can change it by using the up and down arrows. And when we are satisfied that this is our new list, we can save it as a comma-separated value file, a CSV file, to the file system by clicking Save. If we do this, say we want to call this Manage List, reuse the one that's already here on the file system, we double click and save it. The contents of this file are simply a few columns with colors and names. Let's have a look. As you can see, this managedList.csv that we changed a couple of seconds ago contains in the first column the name of the material, and in the other 3 columns the red, green and blue components of the corresponding color. So this way you can manage a list of color that you can reuse again and again for different meshes. Hope this is helpful. If you're interested in IDMapper, you can visit my Blender Market store. And of course, this new edition is free of charge for existing customers of IDMapper. Thank you for your attention and see you again soon.